Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Friday live stream Q&A. We have a few people in already. Who have we? Kenny Rebel is in. Steel Helmet Stan is in. Uh, hello, everyone. Stan. Let's see if John is on time. I'm on time-ish. Um, Missed last week's as Milsim as a Panzer Grenadier loadout near Ready. Look, loadout near Reading. Oh, okay. Very cool. 3 minutes and counting. Good evening, chaps. Nick, hello, how are you? Kenny Rebel, yeah, I saw the video. Soldier on the left looks like Jack. Oh, do you mean the picture? My MRT1. Good evening, everyone, from my bunker in Sweden. Nice to be here. Hello, how are you? Kenny's here. He's on. Yes, I'm on. I'm on. Hello, everyone, and how are we doing? How's everyone on this fine, fantastic weekend? Yes, the thumbnail. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's the crack and the joke. So my MRT is from Sweden. The boys are from England. We'll actually see the farthest person we can get in today. Probably Sweden at the minute, anyway. Definitely. I do actually. Do you know when you look at the for those of you that have YouTube channels, the statistics, shall we say, on your channel. Apparently, I have people watching me in Philippines. Don't know. I don't know. I don't have. I don't think that I have many people in the Philippines watching me. So how's everyone been anyway? Has everyone had a good weekend or a good week, I should say? I had a fantastic week actually, to tell you the truth, because Andy, when he pops in, I don't know if he's in around the place yet, but Andy um, Johnston sent me some bits and pieces, and I wasn't expecting one of them, and it's fantastic what he sent me. So when Andy pops in, we'll talk about him and stuff like that. So how's everyone been doing? Has everyone had a good week? Uh, I've been a bit annoyed with the English Post, shall we say, to tell you the truth, because I've been expecting stuff from SOF that I had to pay tax on to finish some projects that I had promised you. I did try and order from the States the inside or the cradle for my Brody helmet that I'm doing into First World War from the US. But unfortunately, it never arrived, and I was fighting with him and things like that. And I'm not going to mention the website that I ordered it from because I'd given them a chance to try and sort themselves out, but it never arrived anyway. So I ordered it from SOF, but it still hasn't arrived neither. And Stan is waiting on a book that I've sent him in 2 months nearly now at this stage. Uh, so for some reason the English post seems to be ridiculous. I have some stuff to send to Stan as well, and I actually sent a jacket to Andrew um, as a thank you for some other bits and pieces that he sent me, and they still haven't arrived either. So I don't know what the hell is happening with the English post at the minute. The post is mad. Yeah, it's gone crazy over it, lads. I have boxes. I actually got boxes, Stan, to send you over um, your gas mask and things. So I have them here. So I will be sending them. Um, I'm just wondering about the post. What's the best way to do it? Brexit, yeah. Brexit seems to have caused an awful lot of issues at the moment with the post in England. But yeah, so hopefully Andrew will pop in and we can chat about some stuff that he has sent me. Uh, what else has happened with the collection this week? Yeah, Andrew he's a top man. He is a top man. He's very. I've dealt with him in a while. I sent him and Podrick an email actually. I hope they're okay. I sent him and Podrick an email during the week, but they haven't seemed to have answered yet. So I don't know if they're okay. I hope they're okay, or they're just ignoring my emails, one or the other. So yeah. So what's happened with my collection? As I said, collection is starting to quieten down a small bit after the Christmas period. Obviously, money and stuff like that is a bit tight. Um, I am heading to the Living History Festival in the Chilton Open Air Museum on April 9th and 10th. If any of you want to call over, Podrick's there. Well done, Podrick. If any of you want to call down and say hello to me, I will be there. As soon as I know about the cost and stuff, I'll let you know. But Chilton Open Air Museum in England, I will be there. So you're more than welcome to arrive. It's ran by the Living History UK Society, if any of you want to go. Podrick, well, how are you? Just talking about you. I dropped you an email during the week, but I don't think you've answered. Right? Have you got my emails, or are you just ignoring me? One or the other. Was going to order a Bundeswehr helmet, but crazy ordering from Europe. Yeah. Um, it seems to have gone nuts as well. Lads ordering stuff from Europe into England as well. They're getting crippled in tax, and vice versa. We're getting taxed as well coming the other way, depending on the cost of the item, which is crazy. I've just bought a 1980s Dutch tunic off of eBay. Seller has been quizzing me about why I wanted it. I'm going to get taken and put it on and run down the high street. Why is he asking why you want it? Like, that's new. Jake, evening. Jake Brown. Jake Brown will be at the UK Living History UK Festival as well in Chilton Open Air Museum on April 9th and 10th. If any of you want to go and abuse him or say hello to him, please don't abuse him. He's actually a nice guy. But yeah, so we will be there. I will be there. He'll be there. Rifleman Moore or Simon Moore from Rifleman Moore's channel will be there. Steve Davis will be there from Living History UK. Pete Neal will be there from Living History UK. There'll be a rake of lads there. Ramsey will be there as well, I believe. There's a rake of different societies there, and everyone will be good. Well, what happens in Holland stays in Holland, Stan. Hi, Jake. Hi, Podrick. Yeah, so that will be there. We will be there. I will be there anyway. I don't care about the rest of them. I'm going to be there having fun because it will be my 2 years over 2 years without being at a military show or a festival or anything like that. So I'm going to go absolutely nuts. Well, not nuts. I'm just going to go enjoy myself. So there we go. Ran your pockets, lads. Can't wait to light this stage. Join me, Willie. What? Right, we'll give you one more chance and we'll see what happens to you. If not, I'm sure one of the lads will jump on you. Yeah, so that's the plan. Podrick, did you just give me a yes or a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Did you get an email off me this week? I did email you, but I'm not sure if you got it. So I don't know what's the issue. Is there something wrong with my email? Yeah. Cheer, John. Yeah. So that's the crack anyway. But I hope Andrew pops in because Andrew sent me a package. Last week's live stream, I mentioned that I was looking for a cape for to just add to my World War II collection. And Andrew sent me a message going, John, I have a ton of them, but they're the wrong date and the wrong colour, but look, they'll fill in a gap for a while. So I said, fine, yeah, if you don't mind, if you send me one, perfect, I'll look after you with it for it. So he sent me one. Now it is green, but it fits nicely under my thing. Now this is a 70s dated one. But yeah, it fits the gap. And I believe in the later war period anyway, they did come green. So now I have a rain cape to go with my my haversack. But boy, Jesus, lads, did they do earn their pay. They earn their money to try and fit everything into the little haversack because that's it now, packed. 24 rations. So this would be, I'd be happy enough to take this. Actually, there's two things that are missing from this that I don't have in it that I would have preferred to have in it if I was going into combat. Would be a pair of socks and a pair of jocks. But everything else is in there. Rations, wash roll, jumper, gloves, the whole lot. Oh, Andrew, speaking of an ass, and he's sure to pass. Thanks, Andrew, for the rain cape. It arrived. I'm delighted with it. I'm going to show you the surprise he sent me, lads, which he didn't have to do. And it's fantastic. Andrew, I dropped you an email during the week as well, so let me know if you got it. And if you didn't, I'll send it again because I don't know if there's something wrong with my email because I emailed the rec guys today or during the week. So I don't know if they're ignoring me or they're just not answering my emails or they're not getting my emails. So yeah, fantastic. I have my rain cape. I know it's the wrong colour and stuff, but it'll do for a while till I get a right one. Haha, just in time. Hello, Andrew. Welcome. My MRT. I've been buying military stuff from the UK. But it's expensive now because of it leaving. Yeah, it is. Um, it is. Stan has some Swedish stuff. Stan has a Swedish border guard. Um, he has a Swedish border guard, dude. I'm trying to get my hands on. No, there. It's plentiful enough, but I like the Swedish camouflage, so I might just get a Swedish camouflage jacket. Um, it's a pattern M90 or M. Yeah, I think it's the M90. It's called. It's the Swedish pattern, but yeah, it's nice. It's class. Uh, Evening, Andrew, Podrick. I did just move back down to Carlow, so I will get to it tonight. Apologies, just a lot of dreading over upcoming essays. Oh, well, yeah, no problem. Stick to the old education. Don't be like the rest of us. Get an education. Get a proper job. Andrew, evening, everyone. Hello, Andrew, evening. Uh, just got Swedish flag from my loft ceiling. So you see, Stan, unlike the rest of us, Stan is privileged that he has two man caves. He has his shed and he's got his loft, or the crow's nest, I think he calls the loft. Is it the crow's nest you call the loft, Stan? And then he's got his proper man cave. But yeah, Stan has a great YouTube channel. Stan does have a great YouTube channel. He's a fantastic YouTube channel. Cheers and thank you very much. Yeah. So I'm getting back to the surprise. As I said, Andrew, we were chatting last week after the live stream or during the live stream, and he said, "Look," he said, "I have rain capes." He sent me an email. He said, "Look, I have rain capes. They're the wrong color, or the wrong date, but look, there's something, and they'll fill a hole until something comes up." So I said, "Yeah, perfect. If you send me on one," and I said, "I'll look after you." So yeah, so he sent me it on. A bit of horse trading going on with him, and he sent me this as a present. This came with it. Now I nearly didn't notice this until it came, but it is actually Weymouth and Dorchester area map, Ordnance Survey of England and Wales. Weymouth and Dorchester, Second World War revision 1940, sheet 104, right? So yeah, so he sent me this as just a little present. No need to send it to me, but he sent it to me. So yeah, so I was delighted when I seen this because I really like maths and I like geography. Geography would be another history of mine, another passion of mine. But yeah, so I was working around all this. Now there's a big long, what looks like a bridge all the way down along here. So I think that's a train line that goes all the way to the port. So the port is Weymouth. Weymouth was our Royal Navy port, I believe, during the Second World War. So yeah, usually there's no key with it. So what I mean by a key is down the side of it or down the back of it or somewhere, you would have a key that would tell you what the roads, different colour roads would be, tracks, train lines, things like that. But I can't find any. But I presume that is a train line because it looks like what I would class as a train line or a sandbank even. But there we go. So it was published at the War Office in 1941. Initially, when this was sold for private use, it was where have we got? Price 1 shilling and sixpence would have been the price of this when it was sold for a civilian use, and 1 inch, 1 square mile. So there we go. So yeah, so I'm delighted when I got that. Now I probably will frame it. But what I'm going to probably do is, do you want to get a piece of something and you're going, you get one piece of a collection, or you get one piece of interest or something, and then you look at it and you go, that would look good in a map case. But what I'm probably going to do is I'll photocopy this one and I put the original in a frame and put the photocopy in the map case. That's the plan. So there we go. So where have we gone? Just because the Swedish flag stand. Thanks very much. Sorry, MRT1. MRT, cheers. Thank you very much. Steelham stand the two man caveman. Nice. I do love maps. Actually. Being to Weymouth loads of World War II history there. Yeah. I couldn't just send a cape got some goodies. Yeah, well, fantastic, Andrew. I really really enjoyed it. Um, it was. I spent a good hour, I suppose, with a little magnifying glass, trying to look at all these townlands and areas and stuff like that. And the thing that astounds me about this map, well, obviously, times have changed and things like that, but how little, like it's full of rail lines, but how little roads there are, um, and how much of a difference there was between like villages and towns. As we said, like the only two towns in this is Weymouth and Dorchester, and the rest of them are like little tiny little villages. Um, Millbury Orchard is just one here I'm looking at. Here's a little Hailstack, uh, Rimston, more tiny little tiny little villages that if you don't look at them, if you don't concentrate, you'll miss the bloody things. Um, where have we gone? Check out the EDOB online maps, all World War Two defence sites listed on there. Oh, cool. Must have a look at that. Friends of mine owns a military shop in Weymouth, if anyone is interested. Well, can you tell me the street? Because I have a map for it. Um, but yeah, so it's cool little thing, and I was well delighted. I was actually more excited about this than I was about the Cape. Sorry, Andrew, but I'm not lying. I was more interested when I found the map compared to the Cape. I think with the Cape as well. The Cape is fantastic. Yes, it is the wrong color. For those of you nut jobs that will be given out to me, it is the wrong color, but it will do for a while and it will fit in. Bit far from me, Jake. Moving on. Wish I'd known about it when I was down there. A bit far from me, Jake. Yeah. So I mean, that they came today, or not today, during the week. Was delighted when I got them because I was talking to Stan as well there the other day on the phone. I have to calm down now. Now with the new year, we were saying like, um, just in relation to this family commitments and things like that coming up, and Stan is saving for something, and like January, February, March, we always need to slow down, I suppose, with the collecting. But you feel upset by not collecting. If you get me, you always want to. I don't know what it is. It's just like you do feel depressed, but for not collecting something or not getting something. Um, that's how I do anyway. So I don't think I could ever stop collecting. What is your favorite World War Two vehicle? I really like the M3 half track. I like the Jeep. I know there was millions and thousands of them made, and they're fairly bog standard, and it's not a Sherman tank or anything like that. But I like the Jeep because the Jeep was literally uh, everybody had one. They were used extensively in the war. They were used extensively after the war. Um, those that were left in Europe after the war, an awful lot of them found their way into farmers' hands and people's hands like that, and they were used for years on farms and things like that. So I just like the Jeep. I really like the Jeep. Um, I like maps also. I am a vandal as I hang them up with drawing pins. Um, I used to hang them up. I have a few reproductions that I would hang up, but that's an origin, so that's going into a frame. But if it was a reproduction, I'd have no problem with sticking a pin through it through the wall. Um, and the Sherman tank, yeah, Stan. Everyone's jumping on Stan now for him sticking pins and things. Got your email today. Just checked. Been running a first aid all week course this week, and my head has just been bursting. Yeah, no problem, Andy. I was just wondering. I wasn't sure whether people were getting my emails and stuff. But yeah, drop me an email during the week, and we'll sort stuff out. Uh, somebody sending me an email as we speak. Ah, is that the place in Weymouth, Jake? It's actually Jake that's emailing me, guys. Um, believe it or not, I do actually have friends, and some of them are here. Jake would be here, Andrew, Stan, Paul Drake, Kenny. You'd all be my friends, like, but the lads know what would drop me an email every now and again. If you ever want to get in contact with me, lads, My email is always on top of video descriptions. Don't be afraid, even if it's just a random talk, if you're feeling a bit down or anything like that, and you just want to email somebody to have a talk about something or other, no hassle, and just email me. Luckily, I'm still digging up bits and pieces when detecting. Only costs me time. Yeah, exactly. I'd love it. Metal detecting. It's you need a permit to go metal detecting here in Ireland, and if you find something of archaeological interest, it actually belongs to the state. The state own it, and so the likes of the Book of the Kells, the Tara brooch, things like that, famous items that have been found through metal detectors. Um, the state take them. I think they give you a donation or money for, but it's nothing compared to what the piece is worth. Um, so yeah, so there you go. So I mean, like, I'm not 100% sure what the metal detecting. Podrick around the place there, he might be able to tell me what the metal detecting laws are like in the north, but I know down here they're not, they're strict about them. Kenny Rebel, I know you're not supposed to, but the original ones in I have had holes in them in previous twats who have been just like me. Yeah, so no one's given out your stand for sticking pins in original World War II maps. But if there was pinholes in it, I'd probably pin it up. But there's no pinholes in it. It's fresh. So yeah, so it's going into a frame. 10 Great George Street is the address. It's near the harbour in Weymouth itself. Oh, so that's the address there, guys. If any of you are going to Weymouth, to Jake's Buddy's military shop. Weymouth is, I presume it's way down south in England somewhere. George Dorchester. I actually need to, when I need to, I'd love to put a modern map to this and see how much things have changed. So Weymouth and the Isle of Portland is the actual, an island off of the end of it. Portland Harbour. Hmm. So yeah, this is fairly cool. I really like that. Few. I wrote twat on a bit of metal and buried it. Where are my mates detecting on a beach? Did they find it, Kenny? That'd be funny, actually. That'd be quite funny. Dorset. That's like telling me pi equals MC squared. Dorset, and I don't know much about English geography. I know England, Scotland, and Wales, and I know where their borders are. Excuse me, brain box is just catching my leg. I know where they are, but ask me Dorset, no idea. No idea. There is a North Fort there too, which is awesome. Oh, cool. Um, I'm actually going to do a video on it. It's a bit, it's a bit out of my interest, but I know people have been asking me about it. So I'm going to. They want me to do a bit of like Irish history and stuff, and these little documentary type things that I do. But I do know where there's a Viking fort and a Viking field and uh, area where they used to live. So I'm going to probably do something on that. The B&B we stayed in Weymouth had graffiti covered on its wall by US troops prior to embarking for D-Day. It was also right next to the filming area of Dunkirk movie where the civilian boats sailed. Very cool. Um, I think I might have to hit for Weymouth sometime when I get a chance and go and see everyone. So, hang on, I have no drinking cap on. Oh, look, Stan, size 57. It fits me. So we'll be an Irish guard for a while I'm drinking my cola. Went to the fort, really good. Yeah, so we will be doing it. If any of you know, do any of you know where the guards' hats, the peak comes straight down? Little piece of trivia for you. The reason that the guards' hats come straight down in front of their face is because they have to tilt their head back to look out. So in other words, they look out their full height. So so that's the way they have to tilt their keep their head point up so they can see. So yeah, that's why a guardsman's hat, the peak comes straight down. Now this is a modern enough one. Irish Guards, no actual date on this one. But they didn't change. They wore these in the Second World War. Um, sorry, just after the Second World War, I think they got the coloured ones. I don't think they wore the coloured ones in the Second World War. They would have worn just a serge guardsman's hat with the cap badge on it. Um, prior to getting the blue berets when they became mechanized and stuff like that. You see them going back to wearing these colour type ones in Aden and after the Second World War. Anyone seen Final Account on BBC Four? Definitely worth a watch. No, but thanks to Military Collectibles, what I have been watching is on Channel 5, there's the Imperial War Museum do a video. Um, or they're doing a documentary on the Imperial War Museum. I haven't started watching them. Slash peaks were all slash peaks were warned not to do it, but some still did. Uh, guilty, Your Honour. Oh, so you slashed the peaks in your caps. Um, yeah, so an awful lot of guys, what they would do, what he means by a slash peak. So say here's a Royal Marine standard one. So the peak is like that. So what lads would do is they'd actually cut the peak, they'd slash the peak on the inside, and then bend it down to make it flat, and then they'd restitch it. So if I hold the guardsman hat, see the way the guardsman's hat, the peak is kicked. If I hold the guard's hat, see the way this straight down. So that's how you can tell the difference between. And if you do see a surge one, I actually have one here because I need to do it for the military police because the military police wore a guardsman's hat actually, believe it or not. But they would have worn them in World War Two as well. But the surge cap for the Royal Military Police is the same. It's not as pronounced as the guards one, but it is slashed. I need to get the red top for this to do a military police in Northern Ireland and in Germany and stuff like that. So there you go. Cap badge is correct. It is the Royal Military Police, whereas during the Second World War it would be the CMP, Corps of Military Police. They got the Royal Military Police title after the Second World War. So there you go. Questions. Great drinking cap until you're 10 points in. Yeah, it would be a great drinking cap until you're 10 points in. In relation to turtle helmets, do you know if the socks were used in the Irish ones? I have an Irish turtle helmet, but the liner is too small, and I also think about replacing it. The only Mark IV helmets that I used when I was in the Irish Army were the Riot ones, and they had the old. They didn't have the sock cradle; they had the other one. So there you go. I couldn't answer if they had the sock one. They didn't have the sock one when I was in, or the one I used anyway. It was just the normal cradle one. If any of you want to know what the sock liner is, he's talking about. It's that. That's the sock liner for the M4 helmets. This is actually an armoured core helmet, but the Paras and the Royal Marines wore something similar, but it only had one chin strap, whereas they had a weird. Actually, the Royal Marines wore this type one, but the Paras had a different thing. But they would acquire these if they could for the simple strap on it, because the Paras one to put the strap on the side was a bit complicated. Put that down there. I'll put it up in a while. Is that a drill master cap? No, it's not a drill master cap. It's just a regular Irish Guards cap. 1 second out of the week. I don't know. My girlfriend didn't like my man cave and she thinks it smells strange. Apparently, she doesn't like the smell of military warehouses and gun oil. What does your wife think about it? She stays out, pretty much. That's how most of us deal with the man caves. They stay out of them. And the smell and the, I won't say the smell, but the fragrance and the aroma of a man cave is fantastic if you're a miniature collector, but it keeps people at bay. So yeah, so it keeps your collection safe. Red caps, yeah, red caps would be miniature police. Lots of snowdrops had slash peaks. Yeah, I think the snowdrops had slash peaks as well. Many of you don't know what a snowdrop is. A snowdrop is a RAF military policeman, and I don't know if the Navy have them. Do the Navy have a military police section? I know they have. They're dealt with on ships by captains and stuff like that for minor stuff, but I don't know if they actually have a dedicated police force in the Navy. I'm not sure. Uh, where are we going? Are we going to talk about World War Two items today? We were talking about World War Two items, Ralph. We were talking about a map that Andrew kindly donated to the collection, which is an ordnance survey from Weymouth and Dorchester. It's 1940s. I'll just show you the date on it there. There's the date up there. It's a 1940s map, um, which he kindly donated to the collection. And he also donated a rain cape for my haversack. Jeez, it took me, fair play to them. It takes you a while to try and figure out how to get the stuff packed into it, but when you do get it packed in, it fits well, but it took a bit of jigging to get stuff into it. But yeah, I know it is the wrong colour, but it'll do the job for a while till I actually get a proper one. So yeah, and then I do believe the green ones were used later on in the war anyway. Sent you a few links showing that cap used pre-war. The guards cap or the guards cap or the or Royal Military Police. I'm not sure which one you mean, Jake. But yeah, it's a good fit on me. Do you not think so? I think I'd be a good guardsman. Bit short, but I'm only 5'7", so I don't know if I'd be a good guardsman. They used to have to be over 6 foot or something to be a guardsman. Where are we gone? Freebies is a wonderful. Febreze is a wonderful invention. No, I don't bother. Navy have regulators. Oh, never heard of that. No. Yes, the Navy have police. Yes, there is in the Royal Navy Police. Did not know that. No. I'm going to wash it and waterproof it with Nikwax. What are you going to wash and waterproof with Nikwax? Oh, you're the Mark IV helmet, you mean? Is that what you're on about, Kenny? Uh, they do savage followers. I don't know. I didn't know the Navy had a police, no, fairness. Hi guys, how are you doing? David, hello, how are you? Welcome, David. Hi, Dave. Guards cap, yes, this is a guards cap. Oh, the guards cap, sorry. Hi, Dave. Evening, lads. Dave, small pack. You wish it was called a slightly larger pack. Yeah, fair. Like in fair play to them for fitting crap into it. Like I still don't have socks or underwear in it, and best of luck trying to fit it into it. Harley Curry passed away on January 19th. It was a war movie actor and an ex-SS member. Oh, okay. 58 pattern women. Oh, your 58 pattern women. You don't need to wax it. I don't wax any of my 58 pattern stuff. I don't even think it was waxed. Yeah, but it's up to you if you want to waterproof it. I believe I may have been the most. I believe I may have seen the most cursed photo of the US Army history. Seems that there was a plan in the late 80s to introduce hackles to Irish berets. There was bandsmen and pipe bandsmen in the Irish Army wore heckles. They wore a regimental or not regimental, a battalion colours heckle on their caps or their berets. Um, so I don't know after that, but I know bandsmen had heckles on their behind their cap edge. Short guardsmen end up in sport company. Oh, I was in a sport company. It's not too bad actually being in a sport company. I got a whole set, and it strikes. Sorry, I got a whole set, and it stinks. Costs £50 though. Oh, for the webbing. Sorry, just wash it. Just wash it. Light wash it, and it's fine. Links about the guards caption. Perfect. Thanks very much, Jake. Sound, style, helmet stand. Don't know. Hardy. Corporal was dead. He was excellent in the one that got away. Was he in the SS? Is the one that got away? Is that the one where your man jumped out of the train in Canada and went across the river? If I think correctly. I'm going to use it in Milsim. Stops it soaking up water in the rain. Yeah, it's one thing about 58 pattern. It is mental weight. It weighs a ton. Seeing that you have a Fall airsoft gun, do you have any other replicas or airsoft guns in my collection? I have a lot. We have covered them before. Um, in my collection, guys. If you give me a thumbs up, if you don't mind, if I go through them quickly for my MRT there. If you do, I won't go through them. Harley paired in Bridge to Fair 1977 and the one that got away in 1957. I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have about 8 airsoft replicas in my collection at the minute, not including a pistol. And I have my brain that's deactivated. It's not actually a airsoft. Yes, Luftwaffe pilot Fanner was the only German ever to escape from POW camp. Yeah, actually, I know the film. I know the guy you're on about now. Wasn't he in? Was he the lad that was in the Wild Geese as well? The South African guy that was playing in Dutch. He was playing. Was he playing a Dutch or South African guy in the Wild Geese? If I remember correctly. And that's the one I thought he was in. Unsure though, he was good in a bridge too far, but he hated having the uniform on apparently. Oh, didn't know that. No. Right, so where do we start? For the old Bang Bang collection. I suppose I'll start down here in the box. You chat away amongst yourselves there. Till I get this thing out of the box. Because it's in its transport box. So, first piece. Oh, now YouTube, before you all have start canaries and 1 second now. Yes, also in the Wild Geese in A Bridge Too Far, played SS General. He also or Remembrance. Okay, cool. So I know the guy you're on about. Only in the for a couple of months, sentenced to death by the for refusing to shoot prisoners. Did not know that. It's a replica. YouTube. Don't panic. Yeah, exactly. Don't. Well, this one isn't. This one is a real DIAC. This is my brain gun. Where's a ton? It is a Mark 1, dated 1942. It's on that side. Jesus. I forgot how heavy these things are. So there you go. I don't know if you can see the dates on it, but they're there. So yeah, that's my brain gun. You'll never take me alive, coppers. Andrew kindly as well actually sent me some bits and bobs for this. He sent me cleaning rods and he sent me oil bottles and things like that I didn't have. I also have the barrel cover for it. So that's there. That's in its transport box here on the floor. Sorry. No. So, right. That's that done. Hang on a second now. Where have we gone? It's a replica. Review the props for the props box. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm doing. Thank you so much for showing. No problem. Did Hugo Boss make the uniform for the Germans? No, it wasn't Hugo Boss. It was actually Armani, I think. Auntie Brenda. Steel Lampstand, yes. Member of the SS who was to be executed for cowardice, but the SS officer saved his life. Oh, very interesting. Right. Next one. Denex. SMLE 303. Short magazine Lee Enfield. This is a Denex copy. The stock has all been redone by me to make it look more original than the ready, crappy colour that it comes out of the box from Denex. Next one. XM177 Echo 1. Or sorry, Echo 2 because the muzzle flash hider. Used extensively in Vietnam and also used in-op banner by the guys that wore had 3 initials in their names that were doing little clandestine stuff up there, things like that. So that's the XM177 Echo 2. Right. Next. Belgian, or this one is the British SLR with plastic furniture. This is the timber frame SLR. Or the FN or the FAL or whatever you want to call them. Both airsoft guns. Oh, next. The M16 used in Vietnam. This one is the later version that has the guard around the magazine release catch because the initial one didn't, and when you hit the button the magazine would fall off, and that wasn't good. That was great information, thank you. Hugo Boss did make USS uniform. Was it Hugo Boss? I thought it was Armani that made them, and Gorings. I saw a British YouTuber the other day saying YT doesn't like it if your videos you mention DX replicas obsolete calibers if you set if you set where you got them and how much they cost. Well, I'm not telling you how I got them and how much they cost. I need a carry handle for my collection. I need a carry handle or for my collection. I have 10 M4 honey badgers. Oh, okay. So there we go. M16. Next. G3. Heckler & Koch G3. This, believe it or not, was obviously used by the Bundeswehr, but it was also used by the IRA. Got a shipment of these, and they were used a lot by them, along with other guns that we will show you now shortly. Thompson machine gun, World War II variant. This also has had custom timber stocks done to it because the airsoft version, when you get them, they're plastic. So this has timber on. Done. Next. I can get them out. The SA-80A2. The original SA-80. No Suzette. I need to get a Suzette for it. This is a friend of mine who makes movie props, made this for me. It is a representation of an AK that was found in the north with the East German stock, but the Hungarian dongly bit on the front of it. So there we go. So that's one AK. And then my last AK is an underfolder that can be used for Vietnam, or can be used for the North, depending. Pretty much, McAfee Sog and those type of guys were use these a lot. So there we go. So leave all these here a minute, and I'll put them all away again shortly. Right, where have we gone? Born 1993. Sound fella fails. It takes the Italians to put into fascism. Yeah, the commander of the Arma Brigade had one. He did. There was a couple of famous IRA men for using. One of them from Derry was famous for using a Thompson machine gun, and the South Armagh Brigade or Banda Country area had an awful lot of G3s wherever they got them, and the AKs and stuff like that. So it was hit and miss pretty much, but they did use a lot of them in the area. So who asked me to do that? Actually, I hope that covered the question that somebody asked me in relation to what props I have for my collection. Oh, I do have one more down here. It's the only pistol I have. Code 1911. Airsoft as well. But it is the truest one that I can find. It's got the marks and all on the side of it. So yeah, that's the only pistol I have. So is everyone happy? Everyone happy with that stuff? Actually, Jake, if you're still there, sorry guys, but Jake, if you're still there, when we go to the history event, living history event in Cheltenham, I need to borrow your SLR if you don't mind. Text magazine. Not have a high power. No, I need to get a high power, or a BAP as we used to call them. Browning automatic pistol. Great collection of rifles. I have 2 MG42s, and I named them Helga and Bruno. One with a tripod, and one in the anti-aircraft. Very cool. Is collecting or militaria or reenacting things like that? Is it big in Sweden? Because I didn't think. Well, I presume so, but I mean, Sweden was neutral during the Second World War, a bit like Ireland. So I didn't know if there was a big militaria type collecting or world in Sweden. Maybe not. I don't know. I have a Webley Mark V revolver. Also, you can use my SLR. Oh, perfect. If you have a Sterling as well, it might be handy. We could go mad all together. No. The only thing about getting all these out south is to put them all back, which is almost as bad as anything else. I do actually, out of all of them in my collection, my G3 and my SLRs are my favourite. I don't know why. Call what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I just like the SLRs, and I like the G3. But the G3, in fairness, is just it's pretty much the same as an SLR. Function wise and things like that. It's nearly a direct copy. It's just different furniture nearly, but the rifle itself is pretty much the same. What's they say about the SLR? The right-handed or the right-handed free world, or the right-handed free Western world, or something like that. Do you have a rifle rack? No, I don't. I just have them all propped up between Henry and a cupboard. I need to get a rack. I need to get a rifle rack. So I do. So yeah, and then I have other little bits and bobs. Then like I have these are actually I've been looking for these because a friend of mine has asked me to get him some of these, and I've been looking everywhere and I can't get them. So if any of you have any spare ones, or if any of you know where I can get them, please let me know. But they're just empty cans. They're movie props. They're smoke grenades from the Vietnam era. Um, but somebody's been asking me for some. Where did I get mine? I got mine in an airsoft shop because they're actually what they actually are. They're BB holders. You unscrew the top, and you can put BBs in them, and then you screw the top back on. So it's like a way of carrying BBs. But I got them in an airsoft shop, and the airsoft shop that I got them, they're trying to get them back for me. They get them from somewhere, wherever. Um, because somebody has asked me, could I get them some? So I said I would, but they haven't got them back yet. So if any of you have spare ones, or if any of you know where I can get them, please let me know. I would much appreciate it. SLR, beautiful weapon. They are beautiful weapon. Same as mine, mate. All piled up in the corner of the spare room. Exactly, yeah. Try Patrol Base, John. Patrol Base. Is that a website in the UK? Let's give them a look. So, I must give them a look. Actually, that was a question somebody asked me before, and I don't think I answered it correctly. But you see, okay, not something. I'm picture this as a Second World War helmet or a Vietnam helmet. Actually, my M1s are up there. But right, so you see them all right with the chin strap. Chin strap obviously is designed to be under the chin, and it stops the helmet from falling off. But on the M1s in Vietnam and World War II, you see the guys with the chin strap on the back of their heads. Why was that done? Right. Two reasons. One, it's more comfortable. Second of all, there was a myth. It turned out later in the Gulf War, or sorry, the war in Afghanistan, that there may be some fact behind it. But the soldiers believed if they were caught in a bomb burst or there was a nearby concussion of an explosion that went off, what would happen was, now these are elasticated, so maybe they designed them to be that way, but the other ones weren't elasticated. So what would happen was if a blast went off, the blast obviously would hit the rim of the helmet and would push back and would either snap the soldier's neck or they would damage the soldier's neck and give him concussions and stuff like that. So that's why you see them with the chin strap around the back of their head, because they prefer for the chin strap for the blast to go and blow the helmet off their head and not break their necks or not have a concussion. In the Afghanistan war, they actually changed all the padding system inside their helmets and the chin cups on their helmets for that exact reason, because they did do a survey on it and soldiers were getting injured by blasts from the helmets. So there you go, guys. So that's maybe the guys in the First World War and Second World War knew more than they were letting on. I must try that one. Patrol Base. I've got a large, solid, lockable cabinet. It was a chemical sample cupboard. It's lead. Keep all my DX and air guns in there. It's a good idea. Yeah, there are lots of interest in military collecting in Sweden. Very cool. I didn't know that now. Like, what's the collecting area? Would it be German? Would it be World War II? Would it be Cold War? I suppose it's a bit like Ireland. I suppose everything and anything really. Collecting fields and collecting wise in Ireland. You come across guys that collect World War II stuff, First World War, American Civil War, Napoleonic, Vikings. You see a lot of Vikings at shows and things like that. World War II, obviously, Vietnam, off banner. Not so much off banner. Probably a handful of us. War of Independence is a big one. IRA from 1916, things like that. You actually see black and tans or auxiliaries as well at some shows, which is quite funny. Because people don't know what they are. Next thing they hear, oh, you're a black and tan. It's like, what? That's just the normal people. Why were the Swedes always neutral in the First World War and Second World War? Look, we don't really talk about politics on this in this channel, Ralph. If you look into it, to a certain degree, they weren't. They would they would turn a blind eye to prisoners meeting their embassies and stuff like that, so they could rejoin the war. A bit like the Irish used to do with the Allies. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question. Common sense, yeah, exactly, common sense. Um, like Norway was or neutral during the Second World War, and I can't remember what the reason Hitler gave for to invade Norway. Rifleman Moore, welcome Simon. Hello, how are you? Um, welcome to the shenanigans of the military era, military collectibles Friday night live stream and Q&A. So yeah, sold a few ball bearings though. Yeah, I can't remember what the reasoning that Hitler gave to invade Norway. Black and tans. My grandfather had views on them. Oh yes, yeah, black and tans. Uh, for those of you that don't know, okay, we'll talk about Irish history for a second. During 1913, Ireland was granted home rule. 1912 or 1913. Can't remember off the top of my head. Around that time frame, anyway, they were granted home rule. Uh, what was home rule? Home rule would have been the exact same as Wales, Scotland, Canada, Australia, things like that. We would have been able to form our own parliament and deal with our own taxes and things like that. You had certain people in the north that didn't like that idea, so they wanted to stay part of the Union or part of the UK. They formed a group called the UVF, or the Ulster Volunteer Force. Down south, formed a group called the IRA. Or did they? No, they didn't. They formed a group called the Irish Volunteers. Right? The Irish Volunteers was formed to defend the right for the Southern Irish to have home rule. It wasn't to become part of a republic. It wasn't anything at all like that. It was to defend home rule. They were backed by the English government. Then, funnily enough, so were the UVF, because they wanted to stack the cards on both sides, because they didn't know which side would win, pretty much, right? So, a very, very small minority of Ireland in 1916 formed a rebellion called the 1916 Rising. Lasted a week, failed miserably. Yeah. The leaders of. Now, you have to remember too, prior to this 1916, Hitler, or not Hitler, the Kaiser had gone mental in France and in Europe and Belgium and decided we're going to have a war, right? Lloyd George and the English government turned around to the Irish because they knew they had a trained army already in the Irish Volunteers and the UVF to go and fight in France. So that's what they literally did. They played politics. Said, go fight in France. When you come back, we'll talk about home rule. So the Irish Volunteers went and fought in France with the understanding that when they came back, they would be guaranteed home rule. The UVF went and fought in France and decided when they fought in France with the illusion or with the idea that they would be able to talk about home rule when they got back as well. 1916 started, was quashed fairly easily by the British, and a bit of a mistake if you ask me, or one of the turning points, what happened was they executed the leaders. Irish being Irish, they're like, yeah, okay, we understand that they caused you trouble, but you shouldn't have shot them. You shouldn't have executed them. They're Irish, right? Now, why was the 1916 rebellion not really backed? You have the vast majority of the male population of Ireland fighting in France, be it from the north or be it from the south. Where do those women, mothers, wives, girlfriends, sisters get their pensions and get their money from being sent home by their men in France? The post office. So you take over the post office and causes it to get burnt for a week. You're not going to be very happy. So that's what happened. Then they shot the leaders. Didn't really go well in their case. Didn't really. Irish people don't like being told. It's different for us telling each other what to do, but when you decide to tell somebody else and shoot each other, things gone mad. Um, Another silly thing they did, a bit like coal dits and a bit like all these other camps in during the Second World War, these prisoner of war camps. What happened was in Wales, Fongok in Wales, they sent all the Irish guys that had survived the 1916 Rising to pretty much an academy and a school for Irish republicanism in Wales. And that's what they did. 1917, 1918, 1919, these lads started coming back from Fongok. And also, you had lads coming back from France, and they were told, hang on a second, you told us that when we went to France that we would get home rule. When they came back, there was no home rule, there was no nothing, right? Ireland had fought or was fighting at that stage as guerrilla civil war, and the police force were Catholics, recruited locally, and were literally told by the IRA in the areas, leave, disappear, or turn a blind eye when we're doing something, or you will be killed. And they literally, that's what they did. And the police force failed to function in the country. There was massive areas that were under IRA control. And the only way the British could do it was send over this group called the auxiliaries they sent first, which were officers that were um, veteran officers of the Great War, and they sent over Black and Tans. The Black and Tans were actually a subsidiary, they were a part of the police force. They actually had rules, right? The auxiliaries, not so much. But why were they called Black and Tans? Because they didn't have enough police uniforms, they didn't have enough army uniforms. So they would end up with an army jacket, police pants, or army pants, police jacket. They wore carbines, they wore everything and anything. They were literally just strung together. Whereas auxiliaries wore the black and tan cap or the Glengarry or Corby. They wore an officer's uniform, either a police officer's black pants or and military chaps. They didn't wear the straight leg pants that the black and tans wore, right? So yeah, so there's a massive military history thingy there. So that's what black and tans are. If people don't know what black and tans are, but if you, I could talk about Irish history for hours and stuff, and people would just get mental. So we'll go through some of the questions here for a minute. Did you see the third row? Where have we gone? Somebody asked me a question. I think Simon popped in and said hello. Was where I was. If I can find him. Sweden, Simon, there we go. Evening all. Hello. Sold a few bother, yeah. Black and tans, my grandfather, yeah, exactly. They weren't exactly nice. Steel helmet stand, the iron one. Do you ever watch Mark Fallon's channel? No, I can't say I have. Remember your 70s out on the town Globber for the cheeky China. Oh yeah, I must remember to bring some 70s kit. I don't know what the hell I'm going to wear for 70s stuff, but we'll figure out something. The Germans got the drop on the Allies. Felton has some amazing videos. Must look up him. Like everywhere, so is the World War II German stuff that is a big thing and expensive. I collect US stuff and really like military radio and telephone items of all ages. I'll show you something now in a few minutes that will probably upset you. British occupation and secure shipments, the Iron War from Sweden. Mark Fallon, great video. Must look him up, lads. You're all talking about him. Also, evening Stan or Simon, did you see the episode on the Third Reich pilots finding Bundeswehr Luftwaffe in 1956? No, I haven't seen that. Good evening, Simon. Steel helmet Stan. Where's he gone? My MRT, I've got a working field phone system from my house that he's shed, including the FF-33 German World War II field phone. How are you, David? execution of the leaders in the rising was a horrible mistake. It was offended. Like, if I reckon if they'd just imprisoned them and not executed them, things might have gone a small bit different. But the fact they executed them pissed off the Irish because it's like, yeah, it's one thing us telling them to do something, but you don't do it. And then the way they did it then as well, they weren't actually given a trial. They were given a military court martial, which we all know who that was going to end. I am well. Hope you are good. Absolutely, extremely ill-informed. It's an extremely ill-informed decision. It wasn't massive. Ill. They shouldn't have done it. Ireland dry political sense aside from any other considerations. Do you see the Ireland back then? Like politics played a massive part in, and I don't think. First of all, the army were doing what the army were doing. The police were doing something else, and the politicians were doing something completely else. And there was no liaison between any of them. So yeah, so it went absolutely pear shaped for them. Sounds nice. Then auxiliaries are always messy. Auxiliaries were always messy. Um, God. God, auxiliary. Hello, Mr. Moore. It's also a mix of pale ale and stout. Yeah, it wasn't. It was crazy. I'd need to do a full video sometime on the whole politics in the 1916 rising. I might try and do a documentary type thing on it, but it was absolutely nuts. They have unfairly muddied the legacy of the IRC. Many of those lads were highly disgusted, decorated from being in France. Disturbed from being in France. The IRC weren't angels themselves. They did do something, but the IRC and especially the Dublin Metropolitan Police, because there was a separate police force in Dublin, they were appalled by what Black and Tans and auxiliaries were doing. There's recorded information of them being actually appalled by what they did. Hope you're well, Simon. What did the commandos in World War II call their traditional wool hats? I don't know. Did they have a name for their cap comforters? Oh, Jake answered it there. Cap comforters, cap comforters. Never, yeah, exactly. Don't upset the Irish. They really don't like being upset. Thanks. You're welcome. Was Bill Gardner's in the band of brothers Irish descent? Bill Gardner was Italian. Um, Malarkey was Irish. His mum and dad were Irish. Joe Toy, his mum and dad were Irish. There was one more. I think Gardner's actual mother may have been Irish, but his father was Italian. I'm not sure. But I know there was two or three of them that had Irish descent or were Irish. Malarkey was definitely Irish. Or his parents were of Irish descent. Roderick, opinion turned against the British administration. It never became, not really because of the executions, but rather because of the amount of time it took for the disruption of the military lockdown and the daily life. Exactly. Um, there was an awful lot of black marks or an awful lot of things that were done wrong when you look back at them in hindsight. That if they had been done a different way, would have quite possibly have definitely have changed the outcome of history. Um, if you ask me as well in relation to a banner, when the troops first went in 1969, they were loved, absolutely loved by Catholics. Um, in the national series, they were loved. They were brought tea, sandwiches, because they were the saviors. They were saving them from the RUC because the RUC um, and Northern Ireland in the 60s and the start of Operation Banner was hugely about power. Um, they did not like you had a law or you had a political system called gerrymandering. Gerrymandering, without any other way to describe it, was a form of apartheid. Whereas if you were Irish, or a Catholic, you couldn't have had a vote unless you owned a property, but you couldn't buy a property because you didn't have a job. Like when you think about it, in equal education in the North didn't come in until 1947. The state was 1920 was when the country was founded. Or sorry, 1922 was when the country was founded. So from 1922 till 1947, there was an inequality in education. Like there you go. When you look, when you break it down to nitty things like that, um, Bloody Sunday. We all know about Bloody Sunday. We all know the Paras did an absolute horrible thing when they did do a thing. Lads, I'm not getting political about it. I'm not fighting or arguing about it or anything. It is documented. They fired at unarmed civilians. It's been through tribunal after tribunal after tribunal after tribunal. I am speaking from a neutral point of view, okay? You have to go by what is recorded and what is in paperwork, okay? Did the IRA do some atrocities and some absolutely horrible things? Absolutely, 100% they did. Did the UVF do it? Absolutely, 100%. But Bloody Sunday was a political march for equal rights. Equal rights opportunities that they wanted from what was coming from America with the likes of Martin Luther King, things like that. It was a civil rights march, okay? It was a civil rights movement. Bloody Sunday happened. That was the biggest recruitment tool that the IRA ever wanted, ever got, because of what happened on Bloody Sunday. Then there was other things, like the Miami Showband massacre. That was another one that was done wrong. But the IRA did things then that were absolutely ridiculous. Oh my, no need for it. What was the silly things that if hadn't happened or if weren't done could have rewrote history. So look, sorry, we're going sideways altogether. So guys, it is 21:13. So I'll give you 5 or 10 minutes there that you can shoot some questions at me if you want, and if not, we're going to lock up for the night and chill out for the weekend. There will be a few videos coming up at the weekend. Just items that caught my interest over the week while I was looking at items in the collection. So yeah, so they will be coming up. Nothing in any particular schedule. So is everyone still here, or is everyone gone home? What time have we anyway? Sorry, my phone was vibrating while we were talking. Simon's still there. Simon, I'm actually savage. I'm actually looking so forward to getting over to the Living History UK festival in Cheltenham Open Air Museum. I can't pronounce that word. To get over and have a bit of crack and a laugh and a joke. April 9th to 10th, guys. If any of you are on, go check it out. Steve Davis is running it. Living History UK. What can we expect for up and coming video for the up and coming weeks then? There's some World War II stuff coming up this weekend. There is an unboxing of parts for the restoration of a Brody helmet to First World War. There's 1 or 2 bits from my haversack that I hope to finish. I don't know if Simon has seen that, but I almost have my haversack completed for Second World War. I know the rain cape isn't correct. It's the wrong color. It's the green one. This is actually the 70s version. I think it's the 70s date on this. But it does what it says on the tin at the minute. It just gives the look, and I need to blank all this stuff for my World War II impression. What else is coming up? There's some op banner stuff coming up. There is some Vietnam stuff coming up, and there is some American World War II stuff coming up. So yeah, that's what's coming up. Actually, somebody said there that they like the video or radios and things like that. That is a working 77 set from Vietnam. Also used by the Irish soldiers in the border, in our banner, so that's why I have it. And I might actually do a radio operator, seeing as I have it out of the Irish Army on the border. Whoop. Here we go. I'm still standing. Elton John, Padraig singing in the corner. So yeah, so there we go. So that's it, lads. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Sorry if you came in late, but we always clock off around 9ish. So the live streams, if you ever pop in again, guys, are from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock over Friday night. We like to have a laugh, a chat, a joke, and things like that. Padraig, drop me an email actually after this live stream, because Simon is there, where Rifleman Moore is there. We need to track him an Irish flak jacket. I know they're out there. I know you know where they're out there. So between the two of us, surely we can find the man, even if we just get him the cover. So drop me an email after this, Padraig, and we'll go investigating. Do you have any information on the Irish use of chocolate chip camo in Irish and Somalia? I do actually. I had photos. I have friends that were in Somalia, so I can talk to you on an email about it and let me know what you want to know. He's already been in touch. Email John. Oh, perfect. There you go. There we go, Padraig. I'm off to the spot of Tiffin. No problem, guys. So there we go. So enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend and stay safe. And I will see you all next Friday at 8 o'clock for the next live stream. So good night, lads, and have a good weekend.